Excuse me. I'm sick as a dog. I look like a dog today. And I'm about to go live. But today is going to be a day of dealing with shopping. Dealing with shopping after Flip, which we are 1 minute away from. So, Sunday nights at 9 o'clock is when the vendors flip for the upcoming week, meaning that they change from whoever owns them the current week to whoever bid the highest in a blind bid for the next week. So this used to be a really horrible time for people who ran guilds. It's got like a double-edged sword here, because for some people it's much better because it's less likely you won't get a trader. But street prices have gone up so much that a lot of people can't afford to continue having a guild. So a lot of guilds are dying right now. And that is unfortunate. Okay. I'm just letting people know I'm streaming. Trying to. This not easy. Okay. There. Sorry if the sound was annoying there. I didn't mean for it to be. Oops. Just letting people know, and then we'll get started by looking at who switched, where they are, what happened, all that kind of crap. This is where I really used to what's the word? I really used to shine. I don't anymore, but I did. I don't do it as much anymore. Okay, so here we are. Did we all get our homes? Let us see. Black Marker Wares is in Ralka. ETU is in Ralka. BBC is in Mournhold. Spicy is in Mournhold. And Forever Trading is in Vivek. So, but we moved in BBC too, but we're still in Mourn. Okay, so that's cool. Excuse me. As you know, I'm still sick. So this might be a boring one for people who like building, because in general, all I'm going to do is run to different shops and talk about different things that I do as both while shopping, but also like where guilds are and stuff like that. I've done this for so long that like I could tell you that TTU has been here for ages. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. So when I look at something like this, I don't really worry about gear. Some people do, but I don't. And I mean, if we want to just chat, that's okay too. But I promised you guys that I would at least, try to stream, even though I'm sick. And I'm doped up enough that I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So this is a disgusting name. Stewards of Tabriel. They used to be in Canarthy's Roost for a really long time, and then now I guess they're not anymore. All's Fair. They're usually in Riften, so this is strange. Herbs are almost always a good idea to snap up if you want them. because they will resell. Some of them are weird, most are not. And some people ask me about whether to get the banker or the merchant. Almost certainly the banker's more worth it, but they're both kind of worth it. So, I mean, I understand if you don't have the money, but the banker is magical. All right, I'm sending this to Holy Dog Nails. Thanks for the follow. Not on this server. Swazinski. Thanks for the follow. Also not on this server. This does not surprise me since I've been doing so much EU lately. Kahal ESO. Also thanks for the follow. Alright. So, then we've got Mammoth. They've been around for a while. They used to just be in Merkmire for a while, but then they moved here, and I think they're gonna do a lot better here. But so in case you're curious about the add-ons, I'm using for all of this is Nern's Absolute Best is a new thing. I don't really know them. I'm just straight up buying that because I need it. I think you all know I use Oblivion UI, which you can get from Minion. It is not a special thing. I mean, it doesn't do anything with my trading. It's just, it's really pretty and I like it. And a lot of times people ask me about it because you can see my UI. And you could probably see my text. So let me make myself just a touch bigger so you don't have to see my text box. Or I could make my text box a little smaller, but why would I do that? There we go. So I apologize for the bags under my eyes and all of the other sickness looking stuff. Okay. Big-eared ginger cat parts sell. Those, I snap them up whenever I see them. But basically, I try to hit everything on Sunday nights. But if you've ever done this, you'll recognize the fact that the Thieves Guild traders often are not functional right after flip. Honestly, I don't know how they put up with it. I mean, if I were somebody who had that problem, I would friggin' lose it on ZOS if I had, you know, the most crucial shopping moment of the week is right after flip. It's just annoying. As you can see, cannot request search results. The timeout issue, since they've throttled our data, is so annoying and it affects things so much. It's really just, it's irritating as all hell. But will they fix it? I don't think so, honestly. And sometimes I just give up and then just cancel out of it because, you know, forget it. I don't have the energy for this crap. But so that's the first add-on. The second add-on I use is obviously Master Merchant. If you're looking to get into purchasing and selling and making money, you're going to want to get Master Merchant. And even if you just want to buy things for a fair price and not overpay, you're going to want Master Merchant. What Master Merchant does is it pulls all of your data from all 5 of your guilds. If you have multiple accounts, it will combine the data from all your multiple accounts and it will, excuse me, come up with a number, a suggested number for the price of what things should be. And you can use that to figure out what to buy, but also how to price your things for sale. I've never heard of this guild. Stop and loot. But that's only for sold, not listed, you know, not just listed. So for example, this is going for about 7 grand. I'm gonna buy it because it's right there on the edge of things I would buy. But you can see the value, 10K to about 13.4K. And it's the graph points, which are something that you would have to turn on in settings on show you every single price point in your guild that it is sold for in a certain amount of time. You can actually mouse over them and see what the exact sale is. So if you see an outlier, like somebody sold, a piece of bread, or, one of those little things of bread for 1,000,000 gold, what's going on there? Who did that? It could be a sign of people doing laundering, which has been going on a little bit, and it's going on like a lot of conversation about it is happening on the forums. So that's another guild I don't know. Sometimes you can really like get amazing stuff from little out in the middle of nowhere guilds, but other times it's just a waste because what it is a GM or an officer is interested in having a trade guild or turning it into a trade guild, but the players often don't want it or don't know how to do it or aren't interested or whatever. So unfortunately, that just happens sometimes. Okay, so the second thing that I use, and people always do you use TTC or do you use MM? I use both. And I use them both at the same time because they tell you different things. TTC tells you what things are listed for. It also will tell you, like, a period of time, how many sales there were. Wait, when I load up, I can show you what I mean. This is taking a strangely long time, and I'm a little nervous about it. There we go. Okay. For example, let's find something here. We'll do a pop-up item data. Okay. So these are those mouse points, or the graph points I was telling you about in MM. So if you mouse over them, you can actually see what everything is sold for. Up here you have different price points. This is TTC doing this here. This is 2,600, 2,000, 4,000. That's all TTC. So you're seeing they're breaking it down by the average, the minimum, and the maximum for each of these things are sold for. 3 listings. Well, that means that TTC has seen 3 listings of it in a certain amount of time. Now, TTC isn't like MM that just looks at your your guild history. TTC actually relies on people uploading information to them. So, for example, I upload my info to TTC. So when I do this search, it will record what it sees that this guild has. And when I upload it, it'll load this, it'll send this information up to TTC's database, and it'll add to those numbers. That way, basically, that way it's more of a community thing than just your guild. And it's tough. It makes it difficult to choose between, what should I be working on? Should I be paying attention to more? Should I be paying attention to just my guild sales because those are actual sales? Or do I pay attention to TTC more because that's the whole community and not just a small amount? The answer isn't easy. The answer is you just kind of have to use your judgment between the two and come up with a system that you're comfortable with. It's not a simple thing to do. And this is what flippers do. They try to figure out how those two different add-ons work and what they do, like how they work together. Hello to everyone watching. If you have housing questions, I'll answer those too. I'm not being just, hey Shiro, no, I don't feel any better. I feel horrible, but I'm on tonight because I usually go shopping every single time on Sunday nights. So I figured I'm going to be here. I need to shop. I'm low on inventory, so might as well talk to you guys and tell you how I do it. And I know that I just got information that Forever Trading and some other guilds are, hey Lavathi, are accepting invites to, are accepting new members because of the fact that so many guilds are dying right now. A lot of them are making room for traders. So if you want an invite, I think I could probably get you into Forever Trading if you just mention me. Just say that, I'm a guildie. And she said, the GM said to have the person fill out an application and then have them mention that they know somebody in guild and name them. So if you want to use my name, that's fine. It's Sabbaty Doom. That's on NA, of course. I'm pretty sure that other guilds are still recruiting because of, a lot of people left. A lot of people left the game over this crap. And with every guild that goes down, more people quit. Because it does a number on the morale. So, unfortunately. So, what are you going to do? A lot of people wonder about ATT, which is another add-on that is similar to MM and works off of the same data as MM. It's much lighter than MM. That is because it has less functions. It does not work with Awesome Guild Store, so you can't do some of the tricks that I'm going to show you. And it only goes back a set amount of days, so its database is like kind of hard-coded to I think it's something like 20 days, 30 days, something like that. So it won't go back beyond that. So if you haven't seen something in the last 30 days, you won't know what it's valued if you only use ATT. However, ATT can be great for a couple of reasons. One, if you have a potato computer. And that just sounds really funny. By the way, Silk Road has been here since I started playing. That's another one of AC Squared. Mostly just trial and error. 3K for me is just a reasonable amount of profit that I won't feel like I'm wasting my time working on. Sometimes it just feels like if I do anything less than that, it's just a waste of time. But that's just me. I used to do 2K, and then I was like, I feel like I'm nickel and diming. I know some people go a lot higher than that, but that's just my call on that. I adjust that based on inventory. If I'm having a hard time finding inventory, I'll lower that to 2K or something. But for ATT, I use ATT, but only to track my purchases. So I have it on, but only the purchase portion. So that I know what I bought and how much I spent on it. Now, that's where another reason why I differ with Jayhart is he doesn't pay attention to what he paid for something. He thinks of it as a sunk cost. So he's like, once I've purchased something, I don't worry about what I paid for it anymore. He just considers it a sunk cost and lists it for whatever he lists it for. I don't do it that way. Personally, I prefer to keep in mind what I purchased something for and then put a premium on it, just a little bit. But usually I don't even have to think about it because usually I only buy things with a 3K profit on them, at least. But Jayhart doesn't think about that, and what bothers me about that is he'll buy things in big. Well, I don't know. I see the positive side of it. I can see why it makes sense in some situations. Certainly, if something you have up is not selling, it's usually a good idea to just eat it and sell it at a discount. If you're wondering why I do this, it's because I do the crows in Clockwork. So whenever I pass somewhere that I know has those little smuggler or thieves crate thingies, I will always stop for them because I could really use some of the junk that the crows need. Sorry, I'm sick. Anyway, so those are 3 of the add-ons you can use if you want. The other vital one, vital, absolutely vital, is Awesome Guild Store, which is why this looks different than the base search engine. By the way, I'm not going to buy this Spriggan's necklace. It may be worth it. It probably would sell. Those are really good numbers. See? 13K. Look at the difference of TTC. 14K to 17.9. That's a really good profit range. Plus 93 listings. It's got 25 sales in 29 days. This would be a good deal, except I don't trust jewelry because I never know what's out on the Golden. If I was smart, I would probably look it up and say, what's on the Golden right now? But I'm not smart, so let me go look real quick. All right. Pledges and news. Okay, what's on the Golden? What's on the Golden? Trainee. It all depends on how you search for it. Honestly. You may have some filters on that are wrong. You could have spelled it wrong. It's really, really particular. You got to be careful with it. Its filters can be overly picky. I've really worked on it, but it's like not worth doing it without Awesome Guild Store if you're gonna flip. You really need it because Awesome Guild Store works with MM to tell you when there's a deal. Like I just looked at. Oh yeah, it's amazing. I am busy? Where am I busy about? Oh, I know, I hit the button too many times. Okay. All right, let's go to Bankrai. So, but to do that, to get that deal finder, you actually have to turn it on in settings. Otherwise, it won't show up for you. And I noticed recently that J Hart doesn't use it. I asked him about it, and he said that he feels that it skips some deals. But I think he's just got to play with and tweak the settings to work better for him because it's basically like gold, solid gold. And I just think it's a smarter idea to just play with the settings a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean. Oh, dying. All right. Settings. Add-ons. I think it's in AGS. No, it's in Master Merchant. Okay. You will see there is a display profit filter in settings. You want this on. This is what tells you what is a deal or not. And that's important because a lot of people, when AGS wasn't being updated after an update to the game, oh my God, it was like being in hell for people who do flipping because you couldn't find the deals. It was such a pain in the butt. So, for example, Trucker's Corner is a really great place for deals, by the way. So, see down here, you'll see my profit range. I want 3K. Now, let me unlock this and show you something. Telvanni boots are always a good idea. Telvanni anything is a good idea. You see how I have this on a deal range of reasonable? That could screw me. The reason why is because if you do it to okay, you'll notice more things show up. So, for example, this is just a 21% deal. It's just a white deal. It's in the okay range. But it could give me a profit of, say, at the top end, like 12 or 13, which is more of a profit than this could give me. But this is a better deal. I don't know. I don't do it. I don't do it anymore. Yes, you can find really amazing things on White Range. The reason why I don't is because I am honestly kind of overwhelmed sometimes, and I find like if I make it more specific, and have less items showing up, I'm happier. It's just a personal taste thing. If, however, I'm not finding enough inventory and things are really bad, I'll switch that up. I'll go back to, and in fact, I'm a little low on inventory, so let's unlock that and make that happen. So we'll do okay range. Ugh, that just totally undid everything. 3,000. Unlock. No, I'm in the wrong one. Herp-a-derp. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let's lock that. As you can see, I subtracted skull. I subtracted charity. All those things that I don't really want showing up, because like right after holidays, those things can just take up 3/4 of what you're seeing, and it's really annoying. And so, like, I found that to be the most helpful portion of things. Now, see this amphora? I would purchase this for a flip, and if it doesn't sell, I would eat that in a second. Same with this plate. So if it's a borderline deal that I normally wouldn't buy, I might buy it anyway if I know it. If I don't know it, because I'm a builder. That's what I do. I build. This one is not something I would purchase. I'll show you why. No, I can't show you why. It won't let me. Well, look at the graph points, right? Look at how they're all at 70K except for one that sold for 81K. I would not take that risk because this is selling at 70K. More than likely, that's what I'll be able to sell it for. I'm really cautious about buying things for flip that are at that kind of price range where it's like there's only one outlier. I used to be in this guild. They're a really nice guild if you're interested in them. I'm surprised they're here though, because they used to be in they used to be in Greashade a lot. See, this is the problem with having that deal thing. I guess what I'll do is I'll change it to 4K. That way, we'll see. I'll up my amounts so that I'm not sitting here buying every little thing. I could just remove it, lower it again. Brostorm, thanks for the follow. Cute name. It's Sunday night. I'm shopping. You should be too. We all should be. No, I'm not happy with this. I'm going to change it back. This is bugging me. Back to the reasonable. And then we'll lower this to 3K. It just, it's a question of what you feel comfortable with. And I wasn't comfortable with that. The things that were coming up were too... I wasn't thrilled with. So one of my suggestions is absolutely do the Crow Quest. You're using junk. You're using stolen items and junk. Hold on. I'm so sick. I'm so sorry. Um. Hi, Lavathi. Your work is so good, Lavathi. I don't know if you guys know this, but I spent the last 2 days, because I was so sick, I've been updating all of Spicy Economics. I spent all this time updating Spicy Economics page for furnishing, for pictures, screenshots. So if you go to that site that I just linked and you look at, that's Jhart's site, and you pull down the photos portion, the gallery, it's all sorted by type. So if you just wanted to look at bed cobbles, you could find bed cobbles. If you just wanted to deal with looking at fountains, you could pull it down and look at fountains. So I sorted it. It took me a long time, and I went through over 9,000 photographs of his, sorting them by hand and typing them by hand to make sure that you guys had access to it. And so it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears of my own. So I would appreciate it if you take a look at it. If it isn't for you, if it isn't going to help you, don't worry about it. But I did do that, and so you can get some ideas from it. One thing that ticks me off about it, though, is that in the early days, he was not attributing whose houses are whose. So if you see one of those up there, that's one of your homes, and it doesn't have attribution that it is your home, please message me somehow, and I will add it. It bugs me. It is a personal pet peeve of mine. So I would like it if people would tell me, and I will fix it. I don't know. I did that too in the very beginning. Like when I was first started taking screenshots, I had that same problem, but I stopped it. And I have very few photos that are unattributed on my own computer now because of that. Pursuit of Happiness in Bankarai, worth it. Go to them, even though they are just the only one. Look at this. Look at this deal. I'm going to eat all of this up. Oh my God, this is all mine. All mine. This is what I'm telling you, folks. Pursuit of Happiness has amazing deals. They're always in my top 10. Yeah, it's kind of light, isn't it, Lavathi? I was a little sad about that. I need to add some of my own photos to it. He always tells me to do that, but I just don't have the time. That's amazing. What I just scored there is amazing. So they are a great guild for deals. I think they intentionally Jhart just won his own contest. God, my throat. One Sky, unfortunately, hardly ever has any inventory. I don't know why they get a home. I don't know why they try to get a spot. Dying. I'm gonna start focusing on more fantasy. I mean, more romantic-y type stuff too. So we will see. So what I used to do is I used to sort in a spreadsheet, which should be the top 15 to 20 stores that I hit every morning. And it would vary depending on how many deals I've gotten from that one in the past week, combined with a weighted algorithm for how much I purchased overall time, right? What did gingerbread hag? Okay. So I don't do that anymore because School Squids is run by a really nice person. So anyway, I did, and now I am here. I'm just shopping. I'm not doing any housing. I'm just shopping and talking about things to do with purchases. But I don't do that anymore. I don't do the spreadsheet anymore because since the game has had poor performance, it's been going down in terms of population. So I don't go through an inventory as fast as I used to. I used to have to shop for inventory every morning. Now I shop every 3 or 4 days for inventory. That's sad. I can feel the difference. Even if no one else can, I can feel the difference. So, my face is so swollen. This is me very drugged, by the way. Alliance War Guild usually has good stuff, but I'm not seeing anything that floats my boat right now. Okay. Floats my boat. I don't feel better. Neither does my husband. He made us chili last night. He went out, sick as a dog, sick as me, got all of the materials for chili and made it from scratch. And cornbread, because he's awesome. And then today, so I had that for lunch. And then for dinner, we had made curry, but vegetable curry. And so we had that for dinner. Did not clear me out as much as I would have hoped. But that was my dinner, veggie curry. I am mostly going vegan again. I'm not 100% yet. Once I get over being sick, I'm switching to oat milk. And then I will probably be 100%. And go back to that. But for now, I'm allowing myself to have milk. I don't need to try to quit something I really like at the same time that I always check those two spots. At the same time as being this sick. But anyway, that's just reality. Another one of my add-ons that I like to use is one that I want to tell you about is, well, Banker Shut Up is amazing because you know when you're trying to list stuff and it's like that banker every single time just repeatedly says the same things over and over and over. Banker Shut Up is the add-on you want to shut them up. Worth it. So worth it. I hope so too, Fosman. I wanted to tell you about another one that's funny, a good one. My Status. My Status add-on is this, see this little gray? You probably can't. I have a little, let me move myself so you can see it. All right, you see that little gray spot there, a little gray person on my screen? It's in my bar of my tabs over here. This part. It's that is my status, which will tell me if I am in offline mode. Therefore, I know that I am hiding from you all. I am in my introvert force field, and I won't forget that I have it on. So it's just an amazing add-on. It has nothing to do with purchasing, but it's worth it, I think. I don't know why I'm bothering with Order of the Golden Moons. They never have anything. I hope that they step it up because they're taking away from spots that other guilds could have. They used to be, for the ages and ages and ages, they used to just be in Markarth? It doesn't sound right. Marbrook. Markarth is in Skyrim, Karen. All right. Marbrook in the basement there in the Thieves' Den. And then they weren't bothering me because, you know, Thieves' Den is a perfect place for somebody with no inventory. But then they moved up here and they kicked someone out. That kind of annoys me. So I hope they get some inventory soon. Alright. I hope you all are doing well in your raffles tonight, because it's Sunday night raffle night. I'm curious to know who decided that every Sunday night should be raffle night in, like, every guild I have, you know? I guess it makes sense, but still. I'm dying. I am so sick. Oh, Columbine. Snip. So, herbs. Snap them up. Okay. Anyway. All of it. Yeah, it could be because of that. I don't know. I generally don't buy motif weapons unless they are staves or swords. Because most people use staves or swords. So I find that other things will sell, but they'll take longer. I think J Hart did some sort of study at one point where he figured out that axes are the motifs that sell the slowest. Good information, let me tell you. Well, I guess you're right, Coffee, because what could happen is, by the way, thank you for being in my cup. I think part of it is because the fact that people are on for that time, like the GMs are definitely used to be that they would always be on because it would be there. They had to be. Because in case they didn't get their spot, they would all run like mad to go get one. But now they don't really have to be here anymore. So, you know what you really got, guys, what you really need to get more than anything is furniture catalog. See this here? It's under, this is a standard item. It says, sold by Zenil Theron in Hollow City for 25k. And then here you have, sold by Zenil Theron in Hollow City, 12k, around X date. Now, Polygimus here is doing something that most don't, which is he's actually selling it for less than what he bought it for. He probably bought it by mistake. Most people resell that shit, and they're not, like, I'll see people go to a furnishing vendor that anyone could go to, and they'll resell, like, I don't know, basic shit for more money than the person could buy it. Like, in one of my guilds, people were reselling nickel for so much money more than what the vendors sold it for. And they were, like, laughing over it. And I just thought it was the shittiest thing. And I got really mad at them. It almost made me want to quit the guild over it because people are just shitty. These are newbies who don't know any better, and they're just laughing and saying, haha, well, they should have known. How? How should they have known? It's not like this kind of stuff is told to everybody upon logging in. It's not that easy. So, I don't know. I'm just bugged by it. I'm going to going to mail myself some stuff, so it's just so I can just get it out of the way. I have second account that I bought when the accounts were like $9. So I personally think that's incredibly shitty, and I don't do it. And I think it's just mean. It's taking advantage of people who don't know better. And you know what I do when I see people wanting those items? I tell them, hey, did you know you can get that off of a vendor for 15 gold a piece? And you know how bad it feels to be that person who didn't know, and you spent all that time? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. People should not be taking advantage of one another like that. I really have a problem about it, and people are just laugh about it, and I just think they're terrible people for it. And when I've brought it up, I've been told that it's capitalism and I should get over it. Yeah, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. So, no. That's my theory. No. We can do better. We can be better to one another. We should be better to one another. This world already sucks for so many reasons. We should be kinder to one another. It's not all about how much money we make. It's a game, for crying out loud. And I guess that works both ways. You know, some people say, it's a game, so why can't I charge people for it? You can. It's just a crap thing to do. Hey, Deviant, I'm just shopping today, so I won't be offended. Right. That's what I mean. It's just a crappy thing to do. That's why I suggest you get what I'm talking about with this, where is it? I'm going to just look at furnishings here for a moment. All right. So these are just random furnishings for sale in Forever Trading, right? So luxury furnishings, like you say, are one thing. But then you get this crap from vendors. Now, on the one hand, Jay Hart has a good point. Some people don't have access to the DLCs. So if you're relisting stuff that you can get from another zone, like here, this is what I'm talking about being shitty. Sorry, Ozuga, I'm calling you out. See where that's sold by? This is by Furniture Catalog. This is why you want Furniture Catalog. Maledic in Reaper's March sells these for 100 gold apiece. This person is selling it, or trying to, for 400 gold. That ain't right. Don't do that. Just don't. These are sold in Murkmire for 250. You want to resell them, Elephonic, I love you, but if you want to resell these for a little bit of a premium, because of the fact that other people can't get to Murkmire, maybe people who don't have it, sell it for 250, 300, or sell it for 300. You know, just make a little profit over it. Don't gouge. Don't go twice as much. I don't pop it out. I just, on mouse over, it'll tell me where it is, like this Riverside Market, sold for 7. I mean, it's just so obvious when you look at it, and you see what people are doing. It's like, wow, you can tell. I just don't recommend it. I don't think it's the right way to behave, and maybe I'm just a old-fashioned, almost 43-year-old. Can you believe a lawyer is saying this? Please don't take advantage of people. No, just the mouse over. But there I am. I'm a lawyer, and I'm saying please don't take advantage of people. Because I just... like, this is probably why I quit lawyering. Because, yeah, the DLC stuff reselling is actually okay. because a lot of people don't have the DLC. You know, like not everybody bought Elsewhere. You and me both, Brostorm. If only. I don't know why they don't love us, Brostorm. What did we ever do to deserve this? Um, but yeah, so the DLC stuff is fine. Resell the DLC stuff if you want. Legion of Money has been down here for as long as this area has existed, as far as I know. But don't resell it for, you know, crazy amount more. I mean, you're doing a service for somebody. You're giving them access to items they otherwise wouldn't be able to easily have access to. So that makes sense to me. Fine. But honestly, like, I don't know. Don't gouge. Isn't there enough money in the game that you don't need to gouge? And what's annoying about the fact that they won't give us that extra space? Cold Harbor. I need Cold Harbor. Yeah, but you know, you'd be surprised. Unfortunately, the one that seems to be pretty consistently is going to sell is nickel, which is one of the things from the vendors that people were using during the holiday to make all of the items that were needed in for the Ritz, the holiday Ritz, needed a ton of nickel. And people made. One guy said he made 300K in a week just off of nickel. So it's selling. People are taking advantage of each other. It's horrible, if you ask me. But nobody asked me. So it is doing it. But Brostorm, what I was saying to you is that, but I kind of lost my train of thought, was, you know, after watching their conversation with us on one of the Friday ESO streams, they were saying that they really just picked 700 as an arbitrary. Oh, I'm sorry, Lavati. I wish I had told you guys during the contest. Sounds like a bunch of you got taken. I am so sorry. And if it's one of my guilds, I apologize because it's disgusting and they shouldn't have done it to you. And I'm so sorry. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So it's just a complete, it's just a completely arbitrary number, 700. And then, so since it's arbitrary, people are like, well, maybe would you consider changing it? No, we're going to stay there because we want to be able to have people on potato computers be able to see what you have in your house without lagging. Which just seems like... Oh, okay. It just seems like it's a bad decision on their part, but whatever. They're assholes. Well, I agree. Well, you know, if you feel like it's a convenience thing for you, then go, you know, whatever. That's fine. It's your choice, but I personally don't think it's a nice thing to do. I agree. I agree. Well, unfortunately, that's what a lot of us end up doing, Brostorm. Like, we end up, unfortunately, we end up closing off huge areas of our houses in order to do that. Um, you know, like Grand Sitchik is a perfect example. You have to really close off so much in order to really, you know, do a big build. And there's so many different portions. Like, do you close off the back rooms? Do you close off the whole house? Do you close off, like, the front yard and have it go directly to the main room. Like, what do you do? It's a shame because, you know, people like us, certainly I would pay more for it. I would pay more for more slots. They could make money off of us. Isn't that worth the potatoes? The potato computers not being able to keep up? I think so. Oh, this is breaking my heart, Kavi. Wow, I'm wondering if I'm beginning to get look at this. Alter Ego. 250 a piece. Look at what they're selling it for. 1,150 a piece. That's a sin. Don't do that. You know, the other thing is, it's actually bad for the trader themselves, Blue Moon traders themselves. It's actually bad for them. And I'll tell you why. Because when this is fully the first page, like if this was the full first page, all these things, I'd skip to the next trader. I wouldn't even bother to wait to see what else there is. So, you know, it's like if you're filling up a trader with that crap, you're scaring away potential buyers from people with real sales. Just my 2 cents. 12 cents? 50 cents? 100 cents? Whatever. Yes, they do, Shiro. In fact, Jay Hart sells them. He sells the DLC ones. He sells the DLC ones. In fact, he has several accounts. And one of them, I think Jay Lizard sales, only sells, or did used to only sell stuff from vendors. Well, I mean, I don't know what I don't recall what he sells them for. So he may not be gouging like that. But I know that some of Jay Lizard sales is, yes, that's Jay Hart. In case you didn't know. No secret. But yes, that's him. You're learning all these secrets from me. All of the secrets. Yes, that's him. In fact, he just won the drawing tonight in Spicy. Jay Lizard Sales did. And Jay Hart had to re-roll because he's like, oops. That was me. Outlaw stuff tends to do pretty well because of how annoying it is to get outlaw stuff, but not well enough that I would buy it at 6,600 to resell. I don't want to bother with it. But yeah. You know what is worth buying it on the traders? Food. Food sells for way less than what the vendors sell it for. If you went to go buy melons, for example, or greens or whatever, you would spend so much more than what you would if you bought it on the traders, on the vendors, not vendors, the kiosks. So I mean, it's weird. It's just like trial and error finding this stuff out. Knight's Revival is usually in Shadowfen. Interesting that they're here. So for example, see these greens? I look for them for my fishy meals. Oftentimes, you will find them for cheaper. Maybe melons? No. No melons, no greens. Here, melons. I could use these. See, they're at 7.5 a piece. Melons in game. ESO melon. from the vendor. Grocers. Grocers sell them. What? Why do you not have this information? A fortune, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't though. The reason why is I sell them. Not resell them, but I make them into those fish dishes and then sell them. Aloha! I have not had good luck with reselling New Moon stuff. J-Heart says that you can do really well with it, but I have not had that experience. So, you know, more power to him. Alright, we're going to see if we can find a grocer in a moment. Delicate vials sell. Grocers. Is there a grocer in Craglorn? There is. Well, Heleth's Wagon of Flavor. I love the names of some of these places. Some of these, like, shops. They crack me up. Alright. He's in the basic area. He's sitting in front of his stall. I really want to check this because I want to show you guys what I mean. I hear my husband dying in the other room too. Two of us, we're a matched set right now. Both of us sick as dogs. Here he is. Nope, that's Grass Eater, not Lethzeth. Oh, here he is. Alright. So I bought those for 7.5 a piece. You buy them. I bought them for 7.5 gold a piece. Look at how much they sell for, the melons. 150 gold a piece. That's insane. That's insane. Do not buy your stuff for provisioning from traders, like actual vendors like this. Be sure to get them from kiosks because wow, that's tremendous difference. It would make it not worth it to craft any food. So that should save you some money right there. Second thing is, I make, I don't know if this is a you guys thing, but I make dubious still. People still buy dubious, and I make longfin. And they sell pretty good. I fill out my slots if I don't have enough inventory, I'll fill out my slots with that stuff. And then I never have enough inventory because I'm lazy. I was up at 5 a.m. this morning. Partially because my cat woke me up and he is a butt. I say this, but truth be told, he may be a butt, but he's still alive. So there's that. He wasn't supposed to be. They told us, I think, in June to say goodbye to him. It's January. So if he's being a butt, I will allow it. Oh, God, I'm in so much pain. Oh, look at that. Somebody's selling them in 10s. That's really smart. If that's your thing, you might want to grab these because they are way less than what they should be going for. I'm not going to sell them, but you can make some money on this. Do I have anything stolen on me? No. All right, off to the next spot. All right. Give me just a moment. I have to go blow my nose. I will be right back. All right. I'm back in the saddle again. All right, Deshawn. Okay. So, as I was flipping through really quickly, I don't know why I saw this really quickly, but the bust. I want to go check it out if, I want to see if anybody has it. I'd love to go see it because I've heard it's terrible. So, I got the news that Sneaky Bow is going out of trading. They're going into just a social guild. So, someone explained to me why they beat out Walmart from their typical spot if they're going to be social only. That's a little shitty. I mean, hey, if you're going to keep trading, that's fine, but you know what I mean? If you're not trading, why are you fighting with people who will? I don't know. Lucian. So Lucian and Bo, as I understand it, were related. And then they decided that Lucian was going to live and Sneaky was going to die. But Sneaky's still here, so I don't know. Drama llama. Ninja squirrels. Okay, so they're the ones. So ninja squirrels and samurai squirrels used to be related. And then there was a guild thing where I want these just as I want them. Where like the guild leader left and then handed it off to someone else and then came back and wanted his guild back and people were saying no, and so he started samurai squirrels. I can't remember which one is which. ESE is usually a predator, but they haven't been recently. They usually are, they're willing to fight. They'll tell you. Fates are going after you. They seem to have a lot of money storage. They have amounts that they can tap into. So it's hard, if they're going after your spot, it's hard to beat them off. And secondly, they generally don't go for the same spot twice in a row because they know they like to keep people on their toes. You never know when you need to bid higher or not. Blackbriar and Spicy are my guilds. That's why I'm not shopping there. Lots of drama. Ancient Traders I have good luck with too. Whenever I say I have good luck with something, look, I'm doing good here. Buy it. Buy it all! Give me all of your stuffs, and I will resell. Ha ha ha. You know, you would think that Mournhold. I'm an introvert too, Lavathi. Big time. Believe it or not, even though I'm on here talking to you guys, I'm a huge introvert. That's why I'm always invisible. Um, breath. You would think that Mournhold would be a terrible place to shop because you would think because of how many times it's picked over, there wouldn't be any deals. But I have not found that to be the case. There's a treasure box here sometimes. Good place to stop and look. In that tree on the side of the Deshawn main building. Dying. So, but I found that, Deshawn stays, Mournhold stays good. Ralka stays good. I guess because there's so much, the traders are constantly updating their listings. So even if all the deals are gone, you're always getting new deals showing up all the time. That could be part of it. Hold on. Sometimes I like to invest in those huge things like a rune box. Some crazy rune box or some crazy book of motifs. But it's actually rarer than you might think. I don't. I sometimes I get into the mood where I want to be doing that, but generally I don't. Generally I like to just do my Sunday night thing. Ooh. Give me all your platinum, please. Thank you. Much appreciated. And I've noticed that less people, these used to sell so good, and now they don't sell. These style pages. I've noticed that a lot of people aren't doing the runs that they used to do anymore. People used to used to go and do what I'm doing now a lot more often. Now it seems like the really intense people who are into selling don't really do it much anymore. I think Saucy Jack does. I think he's probably one of the few who still does it. J-Heart sometimes does it. I shouldn't maybe say that because the truth is that a lot of it is just who I run into while I'm shopping, because I get up stupid early in the morning because my cats usually. And so I'll go shopping at like 7 a.m. my time, or 6 a.m. and I'll run into J-Heart, who, as I understand it, gets up early because of the budgies. He owns budgies with Storma, which is why they have those little budgie emoticons. Sorry if I'm boring tonight. I'm doing the best I can. I figured, if I'm going to be on, I'm going to be running around doing stuff. I might as well, try to keep you guys entertained. There's a bag over here, a heavy sack. There you go. See? Heavy sack. I just happen to know where all these little things are because I go shopping every week for 2 years, 3 years. I know where they are now. I've never heard of this guild. Ned Tinker's Tavern. I hope you're good. Thank you, Shiro. I appreciate it. I'm happy to say more. Speaking of, Spriggans. Spriggans sometimes is a really good set to sell. The way to tell whether it's worth it or not is you have to have it turned on that you can change in that you can change the quality. If you go and you make it purple, see, it doesn't make sense because none of them have sold recently. But if they had, I would say that this you could make double your money, less whatever you spend in mats and purpling it out. So you always have to take that into account. You just really got to think about it. but it doesn't hurt to turn on that function in MM and test it before you deconstruct stuff, especially. You know, if you end up finding something. Sorry, one of my purple boxes is over here. If you end up finding something, before you decon it, check it out. See if it's worth it. Okay, this is what I'm always looking for, the shipments. Nope, garbage. I want, I'm looking for crow stuff. So crows, no, that's MM. MM does it. I don't know if ATT does do it. It might. But I know that MM does it. For sure. Dying. All these contests people are right now. All of them are rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. This is Beam Me Up. I wonder if this is the person who wrote the add-on? You know, I know of at least one guild that is owned by one person who, I think it's just them and their real life spouse. Yep, not worth it. I haven't been picking up blacksmithing, writs, or, you know, cloth, or... I think the only ones I've been picking up have been alchemy and enchanting. Not even provisioning. Because even those are selling kind of slow. But it's probably a good idea to pick them up. Because at some point, they're going to pick up again. Every time there's a new release for things with that you can buy with vouchers, there's always a run on them. Or if there's some reason people have to level quickly. If you store them up somewhere, you could probably get, you know, stick them on a mule, you could probably get top dollar for it. You know, like get it from your writs, your daily writs, and then store it away until it's worth like a friggin' fortune. You might want to do that with some of your more cheaper ones, like these are sometimes decent to resell. I don't know. Celestial sells well. I don't know why. I don't remember how you get Celestial. It must be harder to get than I give it credit for. I don't usually get shields, but why not? Oh, I should check how many greens I have left. 12. No. Insects. Guts. These are all items I use for my food that I make. Scuttle. Decently priced scuttle. Boom. Thank you. All right. I use an add-on called Postmaster. That add-on will take all of the stuff out of your mail, but it won't touch like personal mails. It'll only take out like stuff from your sales and stuff from your little guys who do your shopping for you. What the hell are they called? Your minions that mail you stuff. No one ever wants this carpet, and I buy it like every time because I like it, even though I have it. And I'm always surprised that people don't buy it. So I was thinking about using this particular one as like, I think I'm going to get this and I think I'm going to use it. I can't breathe. Yeah, the hirelings. I'm sorry. Thank you for the words. That was the word I was trying to think of. Hirelings. Hirelings, and I have it opening up my sales mail and taking the stuff out of it. but I don't have it do anything like personal mail. It leaves alone. Really useful. What a time saver. You know, and what's funny is that you'll go on the forums and people will be saying, let's get rid of all of the add-ons because it's cheating. Okay, quality of life add-ons like my mini map over here, or something pulling my mail out of, how is that cheating? Really? You're gonna call that cheating? Oh yeah, and also the bounces. It'll do a bounce for you. So like if I'll send something from my alt character, I'll say return in the subject line. It'll bounce it back to me without even asking me on my main character, which is great. Okay. Okay. Let me fix something. Settings. Okay. No. Add-ons. DDC. Click record. Okay. Here we go. Loots R Us used to be really good for me. I used to make a ton on their stuff. They were in my top 10 for a really long time. But yeah, the auto bounce is good because there are times where I buy things from, I'll buy things from my guilds. Like, I buy things a lot of times from BMW because they're a smaller guild and they need the help for their trader. And I'll buy, for example, Real Guild Best Guild is a friend of mine's guild. If you guys know Spage, Spage from AUT, that's her guild. If you like her, you could probably send her a request for an invite because this is not a bad stall spot. This is a really decent stall in Eastmarch. Mid-level stall. Same with Red Nern. They're in the ESE, the Elder Scrolls group, I guess you would say, clan of guilds. And they're actually in a good spot, and I've had good experiences with their sales. One of the reasons why you may want to get a mid-level guild, at least on a second account, is because sometimes you can get really good deals by seeing their sales first. Like, they may have people listing things that are really good deals that you wouldn't see otherwise because you're only maybe going to see it once a week or whatever. So I sometimes join guilds like that, or I used to. I don't have the space for it anymore. Let me just list some crap here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be dying. What I'm not doing but should be doing. See, this is a good example. See this Aldmeri Dominion Shoulders? See how MM is saying I should sell it for $14,284, but TTC is maxing out at $13K? I could, and usually do, set this for $13K, using TTC as the top end. But lately I haven't been bothering with that because I have been getting the extra bit. But if you find that your stuff isn't selling, one of the tricks you can use is to match the high end of TTC. And you may have better luck selling them. If that helps. This is all fairly technical stuff, and I'm sorry if it's confusing. If anybody wants explanations on things, I'll be happy to explain it to you, but some of you are, in fact, pretty experienced at this and know what you're doing. So I don't know what level to talk to you at. Not time, dumbass. Names. Okay. I don't want to talk down to anybody or assume that they don't know things. Trogger. I think that is a personal decision, Shiro, but what I do is I do it at 27. If anything is 27 days, except if this when this turns to 27, I cancel this. Except if it's over 100K, I let it ride until the end of the listing period because it's a bigger investment in terms of the listing fee. I know some, but I say that it's a personal decision if I could speak, because some people do it multiple times a day. I know somebody who relists 3 times a day. There is some logic to that, despite it being absolutely bonkers. The logic is that people only look at the first page of sales. I know I do. People don't usually skip. People don't even usually go to a second page. Yeah, but for selling little things, it's actually not that much of the percentage of your profit. Oh, Levante, I'm sorry. You need to write it down for yourself. Do not buy nickel. I like to keep my stuff on the first page. That will often will not happen if sales are good, if sales are up. A lot of times my stuff will fall to the second page or the third page. So that's why I just made the bottom line rule of 27 days left. When I see it's at 27, cancel, start over. And my sales have, I mean, if only taking it from the sense of looking at how much money I've made, it's working. I've made a lot of money. Midnight Cartel sometimes has really good stuff, which is good. There are some people like that, but the truth is that, think of your average PvPer, right? I almost want to buy this and save it for next year. That Histmuck Blobkin was a pain in the ass to get. So I don't know about you guys, but I usually travel either by right-clicking someone and going to the zone I want to be in, or I use a different add-on that will let me port by typing /TP and the area name. Hold on a second. But you got to figure that a lot of people don't look at more than the first page, unfortunately. Especially the impulse buyers. The impulse buyers will only look at the first page. The impulse buyers are generally PvPers who just want the shit that they want right then and don't want to deal with it. Certainly, if you're sorry, this is mine now. Sorry. Snap. And you are snapped up. Sad Mommy's Fire Stick. Somebody on the forums called it that, and I can't think of it as anything else now other than Sad Mommy's Fire Stick. Dying. So if let's say, and I'm getting really technical here because I'm just shooting out information as I'm thinking about it. I have all of this information. It is in my skull. I'm going to put it out there for you. Let's say you've gotten something, a mask or something on the first day that it drops, right? You want to get rid of that as quickly as possible before the price drops. If that is the case, you don't want that falling off the first page. You want to sell that shit that day, or the price will just tank. So my suggestion to you is watch it. When you put it up, make sure it does not go off of that first page. The second it does, you cancel, you relist. And yes, otherwise you're stuck with it. It is not going to be worth it's not going to be worth what it's worth beyond that day, that first day. It's never going to get back up to that price. Never. So make sure, eat the listing price, make sure it stays on the first page that day. If it doesn't sell that day and you've kept it on the first page, it isn't going to sell. Not at that price. And you should start dropping your prices and not worry as much about the first page thing. But that's the portion when, that's the part when you make sure it doesn't fall off the third page, even if that means that you're relisting several times that day, because you need to move that shit fast or it's going to lose its value. So it's all a question of judgment, but that's just the way that I've experienced it. Now, it's just my opinion on it. You can do what you want. But it's generally not a good idea to try to flip things that are like masks or shoulders. It can be a really dangerous game to play. Opal pages. I'm stuck with two, or actually I donated them. I was stuck with 2 opal pages. One I bought for several million, I think. Donated to a guild of mine because I bought it because of the fact that it was a guild auction and the guild needed the money bad. That's why I bought it. I couldn't move it in the first day. And that was that. It just tanked and I lost a lot on listing fees. It never sold. So then I ended up just donating them to my guilds. Which is fine. When you have enough money, it isn't really a big deal. But when you're, let's say you're just starting out in flipping, that can hurt. That could take you out. That could take out all of your money. So you got to be careful. If you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of assets, don't take that risk. Like, don't. Yes, you can. Isn't that amazing? In the text search, in AGS, you have to be using Awesome Guild Store. But you can subtract yep. What are they selling that cheese for? 300K? Why is it? I don't know. But yeah, Skull Charity. Let's see how many skulls are here. Style page, Skull. All of them showing up again. See? But then I do negative Skull. And nothing. Voila! It's Boolean. That's what that kind of search means. Negative, just 0, negative, whatever you want. Here's a really hard tip that it took me a while to learn. By the way, I'm Alexi. This is great. Do you know you can actually blacklist people in MM? You can blacklist entire guilds. You can blacklist specific people. So if you see that somebody's cheating or somebody's skewing the numbers somehow, you could go into MM and you can go into this calculation tip options. See this? This actually is really long. I have lots and lots of different names in them. So these are different people that I've blocked. So when it does look for things in MM, it won't count these plot points. Like, let's say this guy, the next one's on me, sold a bunch of things for a bunch of pieces of bread for 1,000,000 gold a pop. It won't count that when trying to figure out, it won't count his sales when trying to figure out what number to tell me. So that's really helpful. The other important thing, put yourself here. Seriously, put yourself. I put myself here. You can see. Stabbity doom. Reason being, if you block yourself, you can still see your stats. Don't worry about that. You will still be able to see everything. But your purchases will not affect the price of something that you just bought. So for example, you just bought Psijic legs. You bought them at 23K, right? It's telling you, MM is telling you that it's worth 34,713. You buy that, you just lowered that price that MM is going to tell you that it's worth just by buying it, because you bought it at a discount. You bought it as a deal. So if you blacklist yourself, it doesn't take your sales into account. You can list it again at that higher price, if that makes any sense. But if you're buying things at a super low deal, which if you're doing what you're supposed to be, you will always be buying things at a deal, you're going to be skewing your own numbers and cutting into your own profit. So that's something that I think is super important to do if you're a flipper. Block yourself. Blacklist yourself. Seriously, do it. It's excellent advice that I learned the hard way. I don't know. Does Jay Hart say that? Do any of you guys know? Because I stopped watching his money streams because I get bored. Nothing to do with him, but it's just more to do with a lot of the stuff he goes over is kind of basic, and I get bored with it. So maybe he has some of those suggestions. I don't know. This isn't my field. I don't normally teach people how to buy and sell, but I do know how to use the add-ons to work for me. Do all of the work for me. Oh, look, I won something. How much did I win? Oh, I won items. Cool. All right, so we just finished up Lanumbra. So we go to Gold Coast. Anybody in gold? Yes. I like this. I like being able to share my wisdom. This is 3 years of wisdom. I will show you. I know some of you have seen it, my spreadsheets. Yeah, you can turn on in MM. You can have it. I'll show you. Hold on. When I get to where I'm going, I'll show it to you. I think it's MM. It's either MM or AGS. Master Merchant. Okay. You have... where is it? I forget. Is it AGS? Mail augmentation. If you go into AGS under add-ons settings, adds more detailed information about a transaction to an incoming guild store mail if the data is available on the guild's activity log. If you turn that on, plus a detailed invoice to the mail which lists all deductions, turn that on. Those are the two pieces that you want on. Then it gives you more information on when your mail comes to you. It'll have additional information, including how much did you spend on the listing fee, how much went to your guild, how much went to, you know, the black hole that is ZOS, and so forth. That's how you do that. That's for sales. So it's basically an invoice, a detailed invoice. And it's cool. So yeah, that's an awesome guild store. It is really good. It's really useful. Um, it kind of gives you a sense of how small listing fees really are, because you may think that you're wasting a lot of money by relisting stuff, but when you see how small the listing fees really are, it's like, wow, I guess I'm not really spending all that much. Even if you add it up, relisted something for 3 times, but, you know, it didn't really cost all that much to relist in the first place, so my profit is still pretty big. That kind of thing. I'm not a math person. That's the funny part of all this. I hate math. I'm a lawyer. I hate math. I became a lawyer for a reason. But I do like logic, and I do like computers. So trying to figure things out um, is something I'm a fan of. So that. I guess that's where it loops me in. And if you want the math sides of things, J Hart's the math guy. So these always sell for a lot. If you find anything at a discount uh, for the kitten, get it. And usually sell it in spicy. If you're in spicy, sell it in spicy, because J Hart actually buys them pretty regularly, because he puts them together and resells them at a profit. If you want to try to do that, you could do that yourself. I don't usually bother. I don't usually find all of the pieces that often. Usually just find the collar and maybe the bowl. I don't usually find all the pieces, so it doesn't make sense for me to try to wait and put them together. So I just resell them at a profit. I'm trying to find one with a spot open. There we go. Blackbriar. I'm gonna list this staff I bought for 300 some odd money. There you go. Now you're for sale. If you like to steal, or if you're the kind of person who just, sorry, I need to see what I had here. You're just starting out on flipping and you don't really have the money to flip. I like to make money personally through stealing to start. So what I did was I'd make circuits. You probably wouldn't need to do this because it makes more sense to do what I'm going to tell you now, but the upstairs of both Gold Coast banks, you can steal everything without crouching, without hiding. No one ever comes up here. You can take what you want. You don't have to crouch. You don't even have to worry about it. Just run through, steal everything you want. Even this chick, you see her? She never looks up. Never. You will never get busted. You can even go behind her. I'm crouching because I have a don't automatic steal thingy, but you wouldn't have to. You can just take that money and not even worry about it. She's never going to stand up. So in terms of stealing, if you want to make a lot of money, this is a good place to go. If only the upstairs of both banks. DLCs are where you want to spend your time if you're going to be stealing things. They have better items to steal. They have better, just in general. Yeah, as well they should. There's one chick here who's a thief. There are thieves who run around behind here. Thieves generally, and assassins and outlaws have really good, somebody got them, have really good items on them sometimes in DLC areas. You can find dice, you can find all sorts of cool stuff on DLC thieves Technically in regular areas too, but I find that it isn't as often. All right, what are you? You're just a scholar. Screw you, hippie. So I made a lot of money in the beginning by smart stealing. And then after that, I used it to flip. And that's how I built my fortune. And now I just like to steal for fun. You know what sucks? This particular Thieves Guild, Thieves Den, you used to be able to access the bank, like list things for sale down here. So you could run up a huge bounty and come and do banking down here. Can't do that anymore. However, you can still go to Cold Harbor and do it. Run up a huge bounty and then go to Cold Harbor and do your business. But this chick used to do it, and that sucks. All right. So this guild trader is bugged, it looks like. Yep. So sometimes the guild dens will not flip over properly, and you won't be able to access the trader. And this will stay bugged probably for a day or two. And yet, Jesus has never fixed this, and the guild that actually got it is just screwed for a day and a half. Why they allow that, I don't know. I would lose my crap if that was my guild. They are, but unfortunately you can't really excuse me, I'm dying here. They are coolly decorated, but you can't interact with a lot of stuff, which sucks. Because I like to interact with stuff. Of the fences, this guy's the bigger dick. I like the other fences better. I don't remember. I think I had 147 million when I looked. Liquid. That's not counting assets that are not liquid, such as, I have a lot of things, furnishings, and I have a lot of stuff in my craft bag that I don't have for sale, but that are worth a lot of money. I don't ever gold out my stuff, so sometimes I'll sell those mats if I'm low on inventory. Generally, I try to keep 90 of all of the gold mats, so 90 Kuda, 90 tempers, that kind of thing. And then if things get low, like if I don't have a lot of inventory, I'll just list that instead. But I generally have enough inventory. I think that's what it said, was 147 million. I can't remember. I'd have to look. I'll go to the other one. I mean, I finished up the main quest. I've done all of the quests here in Gold Coast. Elsewhere. I've done the main quests. I guess I did do a lot of questing, but I don't think that made me a ton of money. But you never know. Maybe it did. I feel like stealing did more. Okay, Kvatch. Dying. Plus, you gotta remember to count all the stuff you have listed for sale. So, like, whatever millions I have, you gotta add what's listed for sale, too. If you're trying to count everything. Sorry, I'm dying. I don't do endgame stuff. I don't do dungeons. I don't do trials. It's not my thing. I stick to this. Right. If you max out what you can sell to the, what are they called? The cleaner dudes. The fences. If you do that, max it out, you can do pretty good. So, like, for instance, for sale, I think I have 500,000 here for sale. Just in ETU. So, there you go. 142 million, 143 million, I guess I have. Plus whatever I have listed for sale, plus whatever I have in my inventory. I did just blow 1 million shopping. I mean, you have to shopping for inventory that we've been doing just while we've been talking. I've already blown 1 million gold because I had to take another 1 million out. So it comes and it goes, you know. That's basically how it works. This can be a good place to steal too if you're into it, because you can get some really good. See these guys? The sermonizers are fun to kill, although they're like a weird type of like. I think the priests are the ones that you really want to focus on, because the priests can have plans for incense, or they can have pieces of incense on them. They can have all sorts of good stuff on them. I figured out what most things have that you can kill them for by trial and error, just by killing a lot of people. But I do think there's a list somewhere now, but when I started, they didn't have a list. I have had somebody drag me through enough to get that blue stuff, but the rest of it I don't care about, honestly. So I got the stuff I wanted, but I don't do anything else. Delicia, one of my friends, actually dragged me through so that I could get the blue flowers and the blue ivy and whatnot. But it's just not my thing. You know? Everybody got something. It's just not my thing. See this priest standing in this really dead in this weird position? It's because the priests are good to kill here and people are stupid and they kill them over and over. Boom! You're dead, lady. I got busted. Don't care. If you do as much stealing as I do, you have a ton of counterfeit pardons. 112 of them, so I can just bust one out whenever I get busted. But usually a priest spawns right here. This spot. This lady is watching him, so you have to take her out. But the priest will spawn right here, and if you pick stab, you can often get you can get one of the incense plans or incense itself. So a lot of people stalk this area just to get that plan. I know, I'm a nerd. Okay. Oh, God. You know, I'm missing out on all the PvP stuff, too. You know, I don't have any of those furnishings. And I don't care, you know? It's like, I'm sorry, but if you want me to do PvP so that I can get get furnishings, it's just not going to happen. I don't like PvP. Not one bit. Not even to be dragged through to get it. You know? I'm so boring, and I'm only up to the G's. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes this goes on a good long time. What is BMW telling you? Okay. Another raffle. Alright, Elden Root. Okay. This annoys me. That no matter what you do, this always stays. Watch me be proved wrong. This always used to stay lit, no matter what you did. Hello! I'm being boring today. Just a warning. All I'm doing is shopping and talking about sales and talking about housing if you want. I want a lot of things, but I'm not going to do it. If everybody had a Volendrung, it wouldn't be as special. Oh, you're welcome. You're really, really blue. Soljiku. The the overlay is stupid blue for some people, like to the point where I can't see it blue. So I apologize. Okay. This is why I blow like a million gold just shopping on Sunday nights. But then again, I probably won't need to go shopping at all this week. Yes! Oh my gosh, that was your friend? Oh, that's you? I am so, so sorry. Oh my goodness, I was so embarrassed. I am so sorry. Montante Metente Conan? Oh my gosh, I was so embarrassed. You were doing it you were doing things in Polish. And I was so embarrassed. I walked in on you, and then what happened was is we got out and we left. I left the house as quickly as possible, and then one of my viewers said, "No, that was not a person. That was an NPC. Go back in." And so I went back in, and then you were still there, and I was so horrified, and I left. And I'm so sorry. And oh, it was hilarious. We laughed so hard at me. I was like, gosh, it was so embarrassing. And I looked up what one of you said in Google Translate, and it said, "This one is scared" in Polish. And I'm like, oh no, I messed up their RP. I didn't mean to do it. Oh, I'm glad it didn't upset you that much. I'm so sorry. I was just visiting open houses and came across. I was just trying to see yours, and it was really cute. I'm sorry, I have a cold. I liked the house though. The little bit of I saw it before I ran running as fast as I could out of there. I will be going back to EU in the upcoming week, and I will visit more of your homes that are open houses. So maybe I should knock first next time. Oh, I have a terrible cold. I've just been trying to catch up on EU because I pay so much attention to NA, and EU's been slighted. They haven't been getting as much attention. And you guys have such different art, like different homes than we do. They're much more detailed. Um, Not to say that we're bad. It's just you guys have really good stuff. Hold on. Oh, that sneeze! It left. That sneeze wanted to come out and then it ran away. Oh my goodness. I work from home, so that's why I don't have to worry about going to bed early, but here it's 9 p.m. But I'm sounding worse and worse, and I think I might have to take some medicine before I'm like hacking to death. So, I'm trying to figure out what to take. I might take some NyQuil because I'm just so bad off. All right. So, if you would like if you'd like me to check out any specific home, let me know. I'd be happy to go look. Be right back. I gotta take some NyQuil. Andy, you know the guy I walked in on his RP? The guy I walked in on the RP session? He's in my channel now. The bully guy. And I was like, I'm so sorry. You know, it's a little bit of pain. Thank you. I just thought it was so sweet because my friends have Okay, I'm back. NyQuil and all. So maybe I won't sound so dead. Hey, Serafi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Serafi, I don't know if you were here the other day when I barged in on my Tante Conan's RP session. That's my Tante right there. I'm probably saying that wrong. Just joined Souljic U. Oh, I'm sorry I missed it. I've been doing my shopping. That's them. The Polish fellow that or person that I walked in on. They came to find me. That's so funny. I got to apologize. But it was so funny. I just died. I'm not right now. No, I'm shopping right now. But my Tante Conan came over just to... I'm dying. Just came over to say hello and find out why I'm stalking him. Them. But our peers are the best, though. They really are. Oh, for those of you who may not have seen this house. Okay, as long as you don't mind, I'm so sorry. It was an accident. I didn't know. This is my treasure house. This was for a contest, J-Heart. It's a tiny baby dragon's hoard. I absolutely would love to. Is this this is the Solstice Homes? I look forward to it because I could not come up with a good idea. Have you guys come up with an idea for the next month? Because I'm really looking forward to it. I do. I want to see all of them. Oh, okay. I can't wait. Okay. Thank you. We got a good laugh out of it because I was so people laughed at me because I was embarrassed. I knew you weren't doing anything gross or anything. It was just I did vote, but the problem is I can't decide because it said which ones would you enter. I would enter all of them. So I'm not really. It's not really. You know. I'm gonna try to enter anything you put up. But I did vote for ones that I would prefer to enter. But I'll try anything. It's a challenge. You know? I was going to try Solstice, but I just couldn't come up with anything that worked in that short amount of time. I was trying to do aerial art. I had all of these like balloons that I was going to place and try to do something where you go up over it and you could see it from above, but I couldn't get it done. What do I need poking on him on? You can tell him people want Stuga so that they can kill her. But otherwise, I can't think of anything. What do I need? Oh, he was gonna see about scaling the Christmas lights, but I guess at this point it doesn't really matter, but I'd like it for next year. But aside from that, nothing exciting. Poor guy, he's so busy. Busy. For any of you who don't know, he's a member of, he writes EHT, Essential Housing Tools. Oh, okay. Right now, I've just been completely ridiculous and shopping because spending in the millions because I'm ridiculous. But, ooh. On Sunday nights, generally, what I do is, after flip, I'll go through and buy items for inventory for the upcoming week so that I can afford to do the crazy housing stuff that I do. But I've been thinking about taking apart my Grand Topol and I don't know. I'm not sure. But I might resell all of those things. We'll see. But running around buying inventory Sunday nights has been a long time thing that I do. Let me show you my let me show you, for the people who weren't here, I'm going to show you my screen words are hard. Window capture. Okay. We want Excel. Done. Okay. See this? This is my Excel spreadsheet for purchases. I haven't added anything since 10/20 because that's when I stopped needing to, because sales have slowed to such a point that it doesn't make sense for me to prioritize this. But this is one of the spreadsheets I keep in order to determine what order in which I go shopping. So it's a lot of work, but it's worth it for me. And I wait. I credit this with making the bulk of my money. I should probably do it for this upcoming week. Sales are starting to pick up a little bit more, but generally this is how I do it. I figure it out. I weigh what I've purchased in the last week as compared to what I've bought from the site, from the vendor, like historically. In case you're curious, I'm going to give you the big news, the big secret. The two biggest guilds, the two best guilds for deals. Anyone want to guess? Because I'm curious to know if anyone knows what they are. The two best guilds for deals in the game, period. Without anyone coming close are these two guilds. I'm curious to know if anyone has a guess. I know somebody I was telling this to guessed once, and they were dead on. They were dead on. They knew who it was, which is amazing. No? Okay. One of them doesn't always have a spot, which says something because it means that I have less data for them, but yet they're still that high up. Is JPN is one of them. And they are often, if they are around, they are in Ebonheart lately. But they are JPN. And the other one is, let me pull it up. Okay. Thanks. I appreciate that, Tamriel. I really do. I'll be popping in, I'm sure, very soon. And the other one is Japan. If you're Japan Shopping Network or whatever it's called. Both of them have amazing deals. Those are the two best deals without question. Japan and JPN, which I'm assuming both are Japan related. Don't ask me why they have better deals than anyone else, but they do. Without question. And I essentially start with them every morning. If both of them have vendors, I'll hit them both in sequence, and then I worry about everything else. So now you know the big secret. Where I make a lot of my money is from them. Cinch was a good one, but hasn't been in a little while in terms of the amount of stuff that I get from them. Pacrudi's is still pretty good. I'd say Pursuit of Happiness is extremely good for deals. So off the top of my head, I can tell you who I hit up for deals. And, you know, sometimes GMs are curious to know how I've ranked their guild, because everything has a ranking. But it isn't usually important. If you're not in the top 10, it doesn't really matter. Or top 20. I'll still hit you on Sunday nights. But generally, unless I'm buying furnishings from you, if I'm buying something from you, you listed it too low. Sorry. And that's the truth. I'm dying. Okay. Looks like all of next week's raffles are now open. Well, I'll tell you my policy. If it's an obvious mistake that somebody made in a guild, I will always send it back to the person who did it. If it's a clear mistake, like if somebody listed something for like 10 gold when they meant to list it for 1 million or whatever, I'll rescue the person and I'll send it back to them. That's just, that's just my policy. And I've done it repeatedly, so anyone who knows me can tell you that I do that. I don't let guildies get taken. And sometimes, if it's bad enough, I'll do it for people who are not in my guild. Like if I pick something up and it's like so obviously a mistake that the person made, like a number off or something, sometimes I'll just mail it to them and say, hey, by the way, you listed this. I'm sure it was a mistake. Here you go. Good luck. And then sometimes they'll reimburse me, or give me a little bit of extra money, but I'm like, just keep your money. I don't care. I just feel good that I'm able to help someone out. That's it. I don't need to make money off of it. So, ooh. Hell with it. I'm gonna buy it. Well, I can't say I do it all the time. Sometimes I don't. But generally, I do if it's a mistake. You can usually tell if somebody's like a number off, It's pretty obvious because let's say something's worth like 70k and they list it for 700. It's pretty obvious what they meant to do. So it's best in those cases for your conscience to send it to them and say, hey, Chrysaea, did you see that link I sent? I linked you in EHT? I mean, not EHT. On the forums about EHT, about Cardi's thing. I specifically linked you and said, hey, come look at this. It was the thank you that Christ... Words! Jeez! I haven't even taken the NyQuil all that long and I'm still unable to word. Bacon Rats. Bacon Rats used to be a really good guild for deals, by the way. They might still be, but it's a name to keep in the back of your head. Strangely enough, a strange name, but they do tend to have good deals. If it's not a mistake, if it's something that someone just, they just listed it for like... Oh, okay, good. That's all it was. It was just what Cardi did to make me cry. Holy crap, did I cry. Oh my god. He just breaks me sometimes. Oh, okay. No problem. Not at all. Okay. Basically, it's, Cardi built a house celebrating all of his friends in ESO. And it was so touching and unexpected that I broke into tears because I was having a really crappy day. I had been feeling bad over the holidays, It was so touching, so unexpected. And I just broke down into tears. It was beautiful. Like, I need more of that in my life. I need more good peoples in my life who make me cry in a good way. And I'm surprised that more people hadn't commented on it, which is why I tagged you because I knew you would comment on it. Yeah, it was just beautiful. And I even kept myself crying in it so that people could see. And he's like, uh, whatchamacallit? Words are so hard. Cardi said he was so moved by my reaction that he's like, I'm just more convinced that you're awesome. I'm like, you're so sweet, but that wasn't what I was doing it for. I was like, I genuinely just did. I just cried because it was sweet. That's it. That's all it was. Because it's like, you know, when things are bad, it's nice to have someone remind you that not everything is bad. And he is such an incredible human being. He's one of my favorite people in the world. And whenever I start talking about him, my husband's just like, it's a good thing that he's not into you, Karen, because I'd be jealous by now. I'm like, yeah, you have nothing to be jealous of. Trust me there. He knows the deal, so he isn't jealous, but you know how it goes. Oh, is it really? Okay. That's interesting. Because sometimes you can make money off these chains, by the way. I have a whole bunch, but I don't want to part with them. If you are on... I don't know how to say it without getting anybody in trouble. So I just sent you a quote unquote. I'm wondering if you got the same impression I did. Me or you? I mean, I'm happy. Oh, she, the protege. I thought you meant one of us. Okay, no problem. I misunderstood. Misunderstood. I thought you meant us, and I was a little confused. I was like, shit, if I could add stuff, I would totally. I had theories about Cardi B, but sounds like I'm wrong. Maybe. I don't know how to code. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Cardi himself is just so crazy busy. Poor guy. I would love to know when things come out with his fingerprints on them, if you know what I mean. I wish you would have a way to tell us. Because I would like to know what he's, you know, when he gives us something, I want to know, like, who to thank kind of thing. That would be cool. Mark Meyer isn't usually great for purchases. For example, I probably won't go into their Thieves' Den because I've never once had it be worthwhile. Sorry. The Quebec people usually take that spot, and I feel bad. I don't mean to insult them. But I don't, for whatever reason, I don't do well with their guild deals. But iBob is sometimes here. International Bank of something? I forget what it's called. And they're usually pretty good. No, Inquisition I don't have good luck with. Been doing this for 3 years, so you get to know who's who. Wow, this is my coffee for tomorrow too, and it's more than halfway gone. I hope my husband stays home from work just so that he can get me more coffee. I'm a terrible person. I know shopping is boring, guys, so if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. But frankly, I would be doing this. I wouldn't be shopping. So this is, I mean, I wouldn't be building. This is me on NyQuil though. So I may have to call it in a little bit just because I'm not making sense anymore. In a subtle way that is no longer subtle. Huh. Can you, if I send you a message in game, can you see it? Crazy. Should I get to do this? I never know. I'll give the pickled fish a chance. Okay. Okay. Going online. For obvious reasons, don't say anything, but that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm hoping so too, but I don't think so, based on something he said to me. But I could be wrong. But it's my guess anyway, so I don't know anything for fact. Okay. Dying. You know how I started out too? Selling green recipes. Like little baby green recipes. The ones that people can't give away. Because you'll be surprised at how many times newbies do need them. In a mail to me, that's what he said. And it just clicked in my head, and I responded with, like that. And I think that, yes, you get it. It seemed to me like he was trying to communicate that without saying it as such. Bad deal. I know. You speak. It's probably just my assumption. And hopefully I'm wrong. Oh, I was wrong. BBC has not yet done its auction. I mean, its raffle. It's doing it now. That's kind of late. All right, going invisible again. Okay. I think I'm going to call it because I can feel I have a fever. And I'm not going to be making much sense. So I apologize for that. But I will be back tomorrow no matter hell or high water. And hope you learned something tonight. Or if you have any questions, you can go over it some other time. If that sounds okay to you. So I will chat with y'all later. And have a good night. And sleep well when you do. Bye.